that time. What's happening in your city? Got love for your city? And to the crew tonight, Doug and Dan, making the production happen. Yeah, we see all the sweat rolling off your foreheads for all the pressure we put on you, but we appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of CT Views. Coming to you from the northwest corner, as all good things are happening here, and we want to make sure that you're in on it. So I want to introduce you my lovely and talented co-host, one and only Miss Coryse Coco Villarouel.
That's right, Coryse Coco Villarouel right here, coming to you.
And you'll have to be patient with her tonight. She is suffering from her allergies.
Oh my gosh.
And I can only tell her how much I understand her dilemma. So.
And I just had to also explain to him what it really feels like. It feels like someone took hot peppers and just shoved it up my nostrils.
Yeah.
It's not fun. No.
No.
Not at all.
I feel your pain. And also tonight we have as our special guest host, Amy Crose from Mandala Minds and Wellness, LLC. Good evening, Amy. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Doug's making me look pretty here.
Jacque, you've been talking this whole time with no mic?
I didn't have a mic?
Well, no working mic, apparently.
Oh, no. You can't have that.
But that's all right. Doug is fixing you up right now.
So you mean everybody thought I was lip syncing out there?
Something like that.
Oh, can you hear me now? Should I start all over?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? The Verizon / Sprint guy.
Yeah, I know. Can you hear me now? No, we'll just keep rolling.
Yeah, I think we can keep rolling.
See, this is live TV, ladies and gentlemen. So this is how we roll. Come HE double toothpicker. I can't.
HE double toothpick?
Yeah, I can't.
I've heard of it HE double hockey sticks.
Well, that's because you're from a different part of the country than I am. See how we
Amy, you're gonna have lots of laughs.
We
just
get along
kind
so
of
well.
Go at it.
You think
there's a great banter that happens between us.
You think Sonny and Cher was bad, okay? She's got one up on Sonny, and I got one up on Cher. Speaking of sharing, we do want to take this time to thank our sponsors for their support here for us here at CT Views. We couldn't do anything without them, and we want to definitely let them know how much we appreciate them. So we want to give a big, huge shout out, a big city shout out to Toth Insurance Agency, located at 1151 East Main Street in Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. They can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at TothINS at optonline.net. Also, Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite Number 1, Torrington, Connecticut. You better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-INS. That's a mouthful.
It is.
That's a mouthful.
It is, but you know what? I think his little jingle, better call Mel, is all you need.
Yeah. So, I call him. I wouldn't be going all backslash and then doctoring and comment and all that kind of stuff. Just
better call Mel.
Just call him. Just call him. Also, the Chamber of Commerce, the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington, Connecticut. The Chamber is the
Is the
place
place
to
to be.
be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. So, you were speaking earlier before we went on air about, all the things that
Oh yeah, I mean,
there's lots going on.
I was saying to our Facebook crew out there that, you know, I was away on vacation for a week. Okay, I went to Trinidad, which I'm gonna let people see a nice like montage
Yeah.
collage kind
Oh,
of
you
thing.
brought back some footage for us?
Oh, lots, but not today. We'll have it for probably
Okay.
next week, hopefully.
Cool.
And then we didn't come on for 2 weeks after, I believe, but
Yeah.
but here we are. But between that time that I've been back, I've managed to just kind of like involve myself in a lot of great happenings. I came back and there was this independent film showing at Bandsman Cinema, which was absolutely amazing. It was a must see, and at the end you got to have a Q&A with the director. And let me just tell you, if you have not heard about this, it's called Secret Mall Apartment, okay? And it's exactly what it is. Has anyone ever heard of that?
No.
Secret Mall Apartment?
No.
A group of artists, okay, in Providence, Rhode Island, when they built the Providence Mall, a group of artists were so upset because gentrification, it took away their living space. I guess there was like an artist block like of apartments and whatnot, and all that got torn down to build this new mall. And they figured out a area in the mall, like very at the very top, that was just this empty space, and lived there for 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
4 years. 4 years undetected. And the crazy part was like the footage showed you like them buying blocks, cinder blocks from Home Depot, driving it to the mall, opening the door that the alarm goes off, and they're one by one taking blocks up to their secret mall apartment. And only once did security drive by and ask them what they were doing. And it was like they made up some story about, oh, we're walking them downstairs because they're too heavy for our car. So our friend is meeting us like 2 levels down or something. And the security was like, okay.
Wow.
I'm telling you this, like, but amazing artists. Have you ever heard of tape art?
No.
So this one guy who's the head honcho of this operation has a tape art installation. He goes around he does it a lot at hospitals.
Okay.
And it's perfect because it's removable. It's tape. And he will make whales, and he lets the kids get involved and ask them what they want on their wall. It's a way to keep the spirits high, but the tape art is absolutely amazing.
Wow.
He did it in New York City for the 9/11 heroes all around New York City. He put up like tape art outline of each hero. But yeah, so back to Secret Mall Apartment though. The artists that came up with this idea and lived there for 4 years. I mean, I was mind blown. It was like 4 years. 4 years. That's
incredible.
That's incredible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I take it that the gist of the documentary was how they masterminded, this developmental project, and then kind of veered off into the background so that they could kind of see how their project came together. Is that what it was?
Yeah, a bit. And I think what the documentary, for years the crew, the group of artists never wanted this documentary of any kind. People have approached them many years over, and they were always like, no, 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 no. Because they just didn't want it. I guess the light that everyone wanted to shine on it was just about that mastermind. But the way this director did it, shone light on the artists themselves and the amazing work that they do. And there were so many layers. There's the layer of that they just did this for 4 years and got away with it. But then there's the layer of what they've done in the community with their art. And this, I mean, that the one mastermind artist had a whole underground exhibit that only people who were in the art world knew about, and you had to follow a map to get there. And it, I mean, the things that these artists, all of them, did was absolutely amazing work. So it shone light on them as artists and their work, and just and on gentrification and how easily people lose their living space to corporations. And now the Providence Mall is suffering because no one really mall shops anymore.
Right.
So
Right.
now it's suffering. And yeah, like it's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, have you ever heard of that story?
I haven't heard of that story per se, but I think it's interesting that, and we try to, especially in the new reiteration of CT views as opposed to city views, we try to focus and highlight more on arts and culture and artists. So I think that focus is growing, I think, on a grassroots level, because I think artists offer us a perspective into the world as to the way it could be and not necessarily the way it is. So I think that that's an interesting perspective that the documentary that you mentioned took. But as we talk about highlighting and showcasing artists, um, the artist with us tonight, uh, Amy Crose, um, has a great business that I think will definitely enlighten you all into that realm of our development that is crucial to our beings. We take it for granted, maybe overlook it, or maybe not even recognize it. But getting in touch with that aspect of ourselves is so very important in the world that we live in. So, Amy, glad to have you on the show tonight, and
Thank you
we're
so
just
much.
really interested in hearing about your business and how you conceptualized your business and implemented a strategy to make it happen.
Okay. Well, so the name of the business is Mandala Minds
Yeah.
and Wellness, and I've been a nurse for 30 years, and I developed this business because I really believe in the holistic aspect of human beings.
Yeah.
So the mind, body, spirit connection is really important to me. And as a bedside nurse, we often lose sight of that. So I started painting mandalas when I was going through a really, really difficult time. And all mandalas means is circle in Sanskrit, and they're considered an archetype, which what that means is that when you look at them, it signifies and symbolizes a lot of different things.
Yes.
And it's a subconscious thing that we don't even realize we're doing. But when you look at a circle, there's no beginning, there's no end.
Right.
There's usually a center point, and it provides a container for all the parts within it. And I just started dot painting on rocks because I wanted to bring them on hikes with me and drop them because I had suffered a loss and I was depressed, and it was one way of me managing my grief and my depression. And then COVID came along. This was in 2020. COVID came along, and as a nurse, I was quarantined, so I just started drawing these mandalas and taught myself to dot paint them, and then would go to work and come home and paint, and go to work and come home and paint. I was just giving them to my coworkers because I didn't know what to do with them all. And then last year in January, I finished a holistic nursing certification where I was going to help people with their wellness and considering their mind, body, and spiritual connection. And this jumped into the forefront of, well, maybe I can do something with this. And it's an incredible modality, similar to like yoga or Reiki or hiking in the woods, or there's so many different things that we use to calm our nervous system, to feel more centered, and to get into that creative space that we were talking about with these folks in Providence, where the possibilities are just sort of endless and you don't even realize it when you're creating, but it does open that door for you. So that's how I started the business, and it's growing, and I love watching people get into that space and feel better and create beautiful things.
Now, when did you hear about Mandala? Like, how did that fall in your lap?
So I've always been a live music lover. And right back to when I was a teenager, I liked a lot of the hippie music. And I was always drawn to those tapestries and bright colors. Also super interested in the spiritual tenets of Buddhism. It's very soothing to me. Even looking at a Buddhist statue is soothing to me. And noticed that these mandalas are everywhere. And so I'm just super drawn to them. And they're appealing to me. I love the symmetry. I love the colors. I love the designs. And so I've just been drawn to them.
Now, do you think there is a connection between your attraction to the mandalas, and you know what I'm getting ready to ask you, don't you? Because when you feel that purpose and that need to share with others what you're experiencing, how do you bring that across in the sessions that you have with your clients?
So I generally tell them my story, which is a little bit more in depth than what I've shared even here. And I talk about how it's helped me manage myself and my anxiety and depression. And I talk about the benefits of the symmetry and the repetitive hand motion that comes with dot painting. And I talk about the benefits of getting into the colors and the creativity. So you really do engage both the left and the right side of your brain, and it gets you into a really mindful space. So I talk about that. And then oftentimes in the beginning, I'm teaching them how to dot paint, so they get into that instructional mode. But before very long, they get into that groove and they
let it take over.
Yeah, it is incredible to watch people.
And how long is the session?
The sessions my public classes are 2 hours, and oftentimes when I do sessions at people's homes, they're 3 hours.
Oh, so you do house visits.
And they can complete an entire mandala in that period of time, and most people are just so amazed that they can do it because it's very simple.
Yeah.
And it's just easy to do.
What I love is your logo when you're talking about the mandala in terms of having, that circle where there is no beginning and there is no end, but in that central focus you have everything. Yeah. And that's what I noticed about your logo when I first saw it and looked at it. It kind of popped my whole senses, my sensory. Because when you look at art, there is, whether you understand it or not, there is a feeling that's emanated from that visual stimuli.
100%.
And I think that's one thing about art that's healing that people don't. The same thing happens with music.
Correct. Yes.
But we're more in tune with our ears because there's more of a subconscious subliminal connection to it, as opposed to what we see on a sheet of paper or on a screen, or because we haven't been taught how to respond to that. And I think that's where this whole kind of organic, green, new consciousness, I think, is emanating from people understanding how you can use the environment around you to come to a higher level of being and understanding.
Absolutely. I just recently met some folks who love to create mandalas anywhere they go.
Mm-hmm.
So whether they're
Really?
on a hike, they will forage through the woods and gather sticks and flowers and
Yeah.
rocks and things
Wow.
and make a symmetrical design, or
Really?
on the
Like on,
just on the path or on the side of the
wow.
path or on the beach. They'll forage for shells and
Huh.
seaweed and make mandalas, or even in a city, they'll gather objects and make mandalas. And it's eye-catching. It's very soothing. It's incredible, really.
Well, do you have a piece that we
Yeah.
can take a look at?
I
She
think
has a
I think
collage.
so.
Yeah.
Can
I
we?
think
Can you cue that up for us, boys? Thank you.
I mean, you look at a mandala and it's just the colors alone. You can sit and stare at it for hours, you know, like because it's you see the colors. It's cute. You see the colors, and then there's so many colors. You can focus on one area, but then when you move to another area and you see something different in that area, and just all the different colors to me is amazing. I can't see how you wouldn't be able to stare at something like that for hours. You know, I would love that like above my bed,
right.
you know,
I
and
was
just lay down and just stare at it.
I actually do sit and stare at my mandalas
Yeah.
often, and it's not even an egoic thing. It's just
No, yeah,
pleasing to me.
Do
yeah.
you stare at it with music on?
Absolutely. I love
What do you, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin? Which one?
Actually, Pink Floyd's one of my favorite
Yeah.
to paint to. Yes, yes, but I paint to it and enjoy it.
So both ways you go with it.
Yeah.
That's fascinating, and just in the brief examples that you had there, you find yourself drifting into the piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think the benefits definitely for the for the artist is intact, but also for the participant.
Mm.
And I think that's the aspect we really need to focus on exploring, so that we can all come to a deeper understanding of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And people do when they paint. They recognize things about themselves that they weren't really aware of before they started. And almost all the time, people are just amazed at what they're able to create because it's so simple and it's just a combination of dots.
Yeah.
With what I teach. So
Now it's a specific brush that is used?
they're dot tools. You can they're just little balls on the end of a stick, and you literally dip them in the paint and then dip them on the and then put it on the canvas. And just by making a pattern of dots, you create with different colors, you create these designs. So it's literally, I've gone to group homes where people have very limited functionality of their limbs, nonverbal. And they struggled at first with it, but by the end, I was amazed at how they were able to even do it, and they created beautiful pieces.
I know what you're thinking already, so we'll
that?
talk about it after the show. I already know what she's thinking, but
here's another thought. A friend of mine, she's a recreation therapist at a nursing home, and so she's always looking to bring people in. I will definitely give her your card.
see, Coryse always trying to employ people.
Well,
she always trying to hook people up. Why you be always trying to hook people up, girl?
I like to share the knowledge.
I know.
I appreciate it because there are so many different populations that benefit from this.
Yeah.
I went to a dementia unit and helped the early onset dementia, but that continues to keep their brain focused. Certainly people who are grieving, when they paint in tribute and in reverence of a person or with some intention, I find that it's so helpful for so many kids. Are incredible to watch do this.
What's really fascinating about your story, though, is how all this emanated from your being employed as a nurse. I've always felt like nurses had a special calling,
Mhm.
and there's nothing more comforting, or should I say nothing more upsetting. You're in a hospital room and, it's like, you're trying to deal with, the reason why you're there and whatnot. And, a nice nurse comes up, and, makes everything all right. Just, she doesn't have to say a lot of, but what really messes that whole scenario up? Male nurses. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, man. It's like you're sitting there, and a male nurse walks in your room and says, "Hey, how you feeling today?" It doesn't have the same. I'm like,
I
bro,
think he's speaking from experience.
But
I'm
yes,
like,
I think so.
I'm like, bro, you ain't called to do this, man.
I think he's really speaking from experience.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
dating a male nurse.
Oh, excuse me.
And he's one of the sweetest.
I didn't think that's where Jacque was going to
Who
go
would
with this.
know? Who would
I
have
thought
known?
he was
Who would have
more.
thunk it? I was just expressing my opinion.
I thought he
I'm
was
sorry.
more going with the dismalness of just the four walls when you're sitting in when you're laying in the
Well,
bed.
yeah.
I love it though. Well, to be honest,
Just don't share what I shared with you with your
You
boyfriend.
already shared it. He shared it to the world right now. Okay.
I'm
The
sorry,
whole
man. I
of
really am.
Connecticut.
You can come into my room anytime you want to. If I'm in the hospital, I'll shake your hand.
But we did speak to we had a guest here, Andre Rochester, who is a curator at UConn. So he's an artist himself, and he also works as a curator at UConn Health.
that's where I've done the bulk of my career.
Oh.
20 years I was at UConn Health.
Yeah,
So,
he's there, and he helps curate and get in the art that's on the walls and whatnot throughout
I
UConn.
wonder
And
if I would
we
recognize
spoke.
him.
I wonder if you would. I'll show you a picture of him after.
Okay.
I'll show you his website. But we spoke about that of how important it is that when people are sick, that then that they're just not focused only on their illness and this feeling of despair and and not being able knowing that they may get over it or they may not, but they have other things to focus on, and art provides that in hospitals. So I think your art and I'm sorry, say the word again.
Mandala.
Mandala, like Mandala. Okay.
Some people say mandala, but mandala is how I say it. Yeah.
Mandala, like I don't know, the vibrancy and the colorfulness of it. To me, it's just like I could stare at it for hours. Yeah.
Me too.
Now we're getting close to the bottom of the hour. Would you like to stick around with us for the remainder of the show? We're just going to hang out.
Have some more laughs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Watch us clown
if you
around.
want me, I'm here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we want to again take this opportunity to. We can't thank them enough, our sponsors, for helping us produce this show each and every week for your entertainment enjoyment. We really appreciate our big city sponsors, and we want to definitely take this opportunity to thank them. I want to give a big, huge shout out to Toth Insurance Agency, located at 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. They can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at tothins at optonline.net. Also, Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite number 1 in Torrington, Connecticut. Better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins or the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street in Torrington, Connecticut. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And last but not least, Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. They can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. And, one of the reasons why I feel businesses like yours are necessary, especially small businesses. Um, is because we're living in a day and time where people are looking for answers. Our lives, even though we're living in the most prosperous time ever in human
Are we?
history, oh
Are
yeah,
we?
oh yeah. Think about it. You think about it. Someone from the 16th century came
Okay.
to live now. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think we're oversaturated.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as because take this.
I would love to go back sometimes just to simpler
times.
Not
times.
me. I
Really?
was talking to a friend of mine, and they're big on hiking and camping, and they invited me out, to hike and camp, and I said, "Sure, I'll go, just as long as we have some modern conveniences." They're like, "Well,
I mean,
what's the use in going camping? And
well,
if you got, you
I won't
know,
go camping. I'll go glamping. Not camping. Listen, I don't like bugs and spiders. I'm
that's all you're gonna get if you go
petrified
back in time. They ain't got no raid or
of
nothing like that
spiders.
around. What's wrong with you? They ain't got nothing like that. No roach killer, and
They got some rocks, some big,
you're
heavy
gonna knock out a
rocks.
fly with a rock. I know you on point, but you ain't. You like throwing them like you Henry Gibson or something.
No, I mean,
I'm just saying we're living in a time where even with all these modern conveniences, people are still trying to connect with their inner being.
I think people more need to, like, again, take a step back and connect because we're just so saturated with distractions. And I'm going to say it's distractions. You have distractions all around, like from the TV to the phone to the internet to this to that.
Don't you dare
It's
tell me my phone is a
distractions.
distraction.
It sure is.
And stress.
Distractions all around.
My
And
phone is not a
it's
distraction.
getting harder to get back to the simple things. Like, honestly, this week alone, finally the weather's nice, and I'm like, all right, the kids, get off the electronics. I don't want you guys in the house, outside. And something as simple as, let's make our own bubble solution. And my 14-year-old and my 4-year-old, and they're out there with bubble wands and just
Good for
bubbles
you.
everywhere, And today I went to Walmart. I'm like, okay, it's another nice day. I'm gonna keep them outside again. Went to Walmart and I bought dollar kites. It was like $1.50 for a kite. And I was like, it's windy. Perfect. Go outside. And they were running behind this kite. And my 14-year-old's like, look how high I got it. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. Like, again, sometimes just getting back to the simple, right? And getting away from all these distractions is great.
That is, you make a great point. But another thing, though, that I think that we're trying to grapple with in terms of, uh, you know, we're only allowed to express ourselves and strive for that inner reflection if we're living in a society that allows us to do that. And I think we're living in a day and in a time where people are not quite sure if those unalienable and inalienable rights are still being preserved. And I want our audience to check out this next segment that we're going to do for you. Coryse is a representative for the Declaration of Human Rights, and our nonprofit Culture for a Cause wanted to have a proclamation for that declaration. And anytime you go to our website, you can check out Coryse's monologue on this. I think it hits pretty much on all those salient points that as a society we're looking to, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to form a more perfect union. So guys, if you can line that up for us, this is Coryse with Culture for a Cause's proclamation for the Declaration of Human Rights.
In the spirit of unity, equality, and dignity for all, let it be known that Culture for a Cause stands as a beacon of hope and harmony, guided by the principles enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Our mission is simple: to build community through the transformative power of music and the arts. We believe the arts have a unique ability to transcend racial and economic divides. weaving threads of connection that binds us together as one human family. As stated in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has the right to freely participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancements and its benefits. Culture for a Cause wholeheartedly embraces this principle, recognizing the profound impact of art in touching the hearts and souls of individuals, conveying powerful messages that resonates across boundaries. Through our commitment to creating and supporting community arts projects, we strive to foster a sense of belonging and togetherness among people from all walks of life. These projects serve as catalysts for dialogue, understanding, and collaboration, celebrating the rich tapestry of diverse cultures that make up our society. Furthermore, we dedicate ourselves to raising funds for community, social, safety nets through events that center around these arts projects. By combining the transformative power of the arts with a passion for social justice, we aim to not only inspire creativity and connection, but also to support those in need within our community. Be it further proclaimed that we call upon individuals, organizations, and communities to join us in this mission, to celebrate the transformative power of the arts, and to work together to create a world where creativity and compassion flourish, and where every person's human rights are recognized and respected. In witness whereof, this proclamation is made to honor and affirm our collective commitment to these ideals. We thank you for your continued support.
Now, for those that are viewing us on Facebook Live, we apologize that you didn't get an opportunity to check out that particular segment, but we encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, Culture for a Cause, for Coryse's great presentation on the proclamation for the Declaration of Human Rights. And I think one thing that I love about that segment is the emphasis on art. And tonight we have with us our guest host, Amy Crose, who is taking art to a whole new level and sharing her experiences with us and how she came into turning this passion into a business. I think that is the epitome of entrepreneurism, taking an idea and having a passion and love for that idea enough to dedicate your life to it. And understanding that it's not something that you want to do just for the sake of doing it, but you do it because you know it's going to benefit others.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that kind of altruistic approach, I'm sure you probably, that probably makes you more happier than any other aspect about it.
Of course. Yeah.
Now tell us, where is your studio located?
So I have a studio at the Mill in Terriffill, Connecticut. So it's a part of Simsbury, but it's an old historic building, and it's really I think it's an old factory. But
I think is that on Main Street?
In Terriffill? Yeah. I think it's on Main Street. It's actually Tunxus Road is the actual address.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool building, and it's filled with holistic practitioners.
Oh,
wow. So everything's sort of lined up for me to move into that space.
Wow.
And how long have you been there?
Since December.
Oh, okay.
Since December. So prior to that, I was preparing my canvases and doing all of my artwork out of my house, and then sort of a traveling show. And I still travel to different venues and facilities and to people's homes, but it's nice to have my own space, and I can exhibit my art and bring people in. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Lovely.
It really is. The future. We're looking at the future. In what ways would you like for your business to grow and expand so that you reach an even wider audience?
Well, if there wasn't for the technological barriers as a nurse, I'm not an IT girl, but I do think that more remote teaching and I can get to more people that way. I think that's I'm sort of lining myself up in that direction, but I really love the person-to-person, in-person connection. But I just want to reach as many people as I can, and so many people take the classes and then start doing this on their own, and then share with me their art and tell me how much it's been helpful to them. So the more people I can reach in that capacity, the better, for sure.
Nice.
Well, I think we can always throw a bone, right?
Of course. Like I said, I'm going to pass your card along to my friend who's a therapeutic recreation director. That would be great to do at her facility. I'm going into that facility to do a carnival headpiece making activity with the residents. So, things along that line is everything she's looking for to bring, to be able to offer to these residents at that facility. So, between nursing homes, and I even see this as a great party, like a girls' night.
Yeah.
Something different to do than just, I
actually have well, hopefully I'm not going to spill the beans, but I have a group of couples coming to my studio on Saturday night, and the men don't know what they're doing.
You can't tell them in advance. You never tell the men in advance.
That's going to be something.
And so there's, I would love more male participation, because, men need this as much as women,
they tend to bottle
women
things up
do.
even more
But yes, I've had a Taylor Swift birthday party at my studio. That was a lot of fun. I mean, there's all kinds of
different ways to
get it out there.
Sure, color me bad, man. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have a segment coming up, Coryse.
Do we? What segment do we have?
Well,
is it Puddle Town?
I don't think.
Is it Axe House? Ask me again.
I'm not going to ask you any more questions. Okay.
You axhole.
Stop axing up, okay? Guys, help me out.
I'm Coryse Villarouel, and we are here with CT Views, and we're down at Edgeworks Axe House, and we are going to be doing a special segment. We are actually going to go in, and we're going to do some axe throwing for you. I heard it's so much fun. Actually, I did it for my birthday. It is a lot of fun. And come on in. Let's see what it's all about. We're going to meet the owner. His name is Al.
Hey, I'm Al.
I heard you just celebrated a 1-year anniversary, right?
We sure did. December 22nd was our official 1 year.
Right.
Absolutely.
You have quite an amazing place. Why don't you show us around?
Oh, yeah, come on. We'll give you the full tour. So I built this whole place myself. My father helped me out. A couple friends came in.
With a couple axes?
With a couple axes. Yeah. Everything here is all by design. So you can come on through. We have 10 lanes. We can separate every single one of them so they could be a single lane, or we can do a double lane for bigger groups.
Okay.
Or we do party packages. So we have party section down here. We do birthday parties, anniversary parties, divorce parties, whatever you want to do, we can do it. Right? It's $26 plus tax per person per hour. Each lane I usually accommodate 4 people. So if you have a group of 8, we'll give you 2 lanes side by side. And myself or one of my experts, one of my employees, will take you through the whole thing.
His
My experts. Wait for all the axe puns, they're coming. You pay for 60 minutes, we give you 75 because we're that awesome, right? It's exciting, right? There's another one for you. We teach you how to throw. So everybody who's nervous about coming in because they've never thrown an axe before, it's very safe. It's a good time. We make sure everybody gets a safety lesson, and then we start throwing some sharp objects. And it's absolutely fantastic.
Well, Al, me and my teammates, we are ready to throw some axes.
Well, let's do it.
Let's throw down.
You guys are addicted already, right? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Come all the way back over your head. Come forward, let it go. Nice shot.
Look at that. Now, Al, we had a great time here tonight. It was such a great time just having camaraderie with my teammates. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I opened this place. We want to have some fun. We want to let it all out, right?
Let it out. Let loose.
Let loose. Let all your stress go. Have some fun. It's BYOB, so you bring your own beer and wine in here.
Oh.
You know, we're having fun with friends.
And you can order food from next door.
Absolutely. We have the Little Red Barn Brewery next door. We have a great relationship together. They love us. We love them. You know, we always try to support each other as much as we can. So, yes, you can go next door. They have a great kitchen, great staff, great beer, obviously, because it's the brewery, you know.
It's the brewery,
It's the brewery.
Yes.
1,000%.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you very
I have
much.
to tell you, this is going to be a regular thing. I'm going to have like a ladies' night.
Oh, bring them all in.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're not back.
We're frozen.
We're frozen.
We'll get it. Keep going.
All right. So
We are having a night tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't observed by now, but it's live. It's live TV.
It's live. We're having a great time. This is why you guys tune in to us, right?
Well, yeah, and you know when we do the reruns on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday 9 a.m., Sunday 3 p.m., you'll get to see like the whole thing, like uncut.
Can I tell you what else I did this week? Not this week, last week, since I've been back from Trinidad. So aside from going to see that movie at Bantam Cinema, I also went and helped out a friend at Warner Theater. She's also another artist. She's a dancer. And she's helping them prep for their gala coming up, the Mad Hatter's Ball. So she had this. I helped out with the costume, just getting the her dancers into their costume and ready, and it's almost like interactive. So if that's one thing that people must attend this year is the Warner Theater Gala. It's going to be amazing because it's going to be interactive. It's called Mad Hatter's Ball Gala, so that's going to be fun. I helped out with that. That was just a lot of fun. I love just volunteering and offering when it comes to the arts because I'm an artist as well. So yeah, that is also a must see. And then another thing I want to talk about this coming Saturday. There's an event happening in Litchfield at the Walcott Hall or Walcott Center, I think it's called. And so just a backstory. It's I can't remember the name of it right now, but a backstory is King Henry I can't remember the fifth maybe, right before America got its independence. Whoever was it the fifth, the eighth? I can't remember the eighth. King Henry VIII was, they had a statue of him, and it was made of lead because back then, lead was the thing. So when America, got their independence, they ripped this statue to pieces. Like everyone,
they
tore it down. They tore it down somehow.
Okay.
However they tore it down, and they were like, "So what are we going to do with all these pieces of lead?" And they were like, "Let's ship it to Litchfield. They have some house in Litchfield."
Wow.
And they shipped all the pieces, and this Saturday there's going to be an unveiling of I got to find the name of it, but it's I think I sent it in one of our group. I wanted to try and have her on, so that's this Saturday. I believe it's at 1:00. But I thought that was so amazing because this year I believe we're celebrating 250 years of independence. So the event is called Melted Majesty Marker Dedication. So it's May 17th at 1 p.m. And it's on South Street in Litchfield, 89 South Street in Litchfield at 1 p.m. I read on the entire history of it, and it was just amazing to me. I was like, oh, I want to go to this.
That is cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Well, it's getting to be that time. I want to give some more shout outs to businesses in the community that are just doing great things. And we here at CT Views want to let you know that we're thinking about you and that we appreciate you. And we want to show you a little CT Views love. So without further ado, I want to give a shout out to Don's Getaway, located at 24 Winstead Road in Torrington, Connecticut. Christie's Restaurant, located at 545 Winstead Road in Torrington, Connecticut. Health Insurance Services, located at 438 Main Street in Torrington. Wall and Fraunhofer, located at 117 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Soul Latina Cafe, located at 31 Hungerford Street in Torrington. Jimmy's Store, located at 1238 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. 5 Points Art Center, located at 855 University Drive in Torrington. And last but certainly not least, George's Music, located at 905 New Harrington Road in Torrington, Connecticut. And, in these days and times, it's important to support your local businesses, okay? I know it's kind of hard sometimes. You want to go out to these extravagant metropolitan areas and spend your money. But every now and then, just think about the homies, all right? Take care of home, take care of business, show them some T-Town love, right? All right.
Jacque, I gotta say, with your ascot and your whole look
Yes.
tonight, first of all, you're missing the hat, maybe a fedora, and
Figures he'd have something negative to say about my attire.
you're also missing maybe a pipe. I'm thinking a pipe,
I can't
right?
smoke on set.
You're not smoking the darn thing.
Well,
But
why
you're
have it then if
completing
you
your
can't
look,
smoke it?
just have it right there on your lip, as you're talking, and just leave it right there and talk.
You told me this 3/4 of the way over the show. You don't tell me this.
Right?
He doesn't always wear this?
No.
Really?
Of course
It's
I
a special night.
do. Of course I do. I wear. It is a special night.
Well, it's very handsome.
Well, thank you very much. But it is a special night because, especially when we have a new person on, because it gives us an opportunity to expand our outreach. And as you've already been introduced to the vivid mind of Coryse, she likes to hook people up with stuff. I mean, it's like, I thought that, her middle name was Coco, but it's actually Collaboration. Yeah,
Okay.
that's her real middle name. She's a collaborator.
I am.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Work together.
Yeah.
And I'm still mystified, with her appearance on Law and Order. I mean,
I'm also an actor.
yeah, she's
Were you on Honor?
yeah,
Yeah,
she had,
several episodes.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
but
And
the
all
one
the
I
Hallmark Christmas movies. And
yeah, but the one I had saw her on, she got killed, man. I was broken heart. I was like, they can't kill Coryse, man. No. I started calling me, they killed Coryse, man.
Oh my gosh.
They killed Coryse.
Sitting with the famous people.
Wow. But before we do go off air,
yes.
I do want to thank everyone for the Facebook get well wishes that they sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacque was in a horrifying car accident recently, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, his car's totaled. Glad that you made it out of that.
Yeah, it was quite an adventure, but I'm just in a situation like that, it does kind of change your perspective on things.
Sure does.
Of course.
But I just want to thank everyone for just the Facebook posts and the phone calls and just the outreach, and just to say that you're glad that I'm okay. I'm glad too. Because it could have been a lot worse, but it's just an example of the community that we live in, that we share, and that the sentiments that run from heart to heart after working in the capacities that we have in the last few years. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. And before we go, just want to let everybody know that if there's a guest or topic or something that you want us to cover here on CT Views, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can check us out on our YouTube channel at Culture for a Cause. or you can go to our Facebook page at CT Views, and Tracy will be more than happy to respond to you. If you want to book a show, reach out to Nicole McCoulis on our Culture for Cause at nmcoulis@cultureforcause.org, and she'll be more than happy to hook you up.
And that's the number 4, not the word 4.
Correct. Culture 4, like Fantastic Four.
4.
Oh my God, they got a new cartoon channel out. Oh, I will never sleep at night again. They had
what channel?
22. They had.
We got 1 minute left.
Well, I'm just saying, you got to check out these new cartoons, man. Well, they're old cartoons, but Woody Woodpecker.
Woody Woodpecker.
I was loving it.
I want them to bring back David the Gnome. I remember that.
You know what I'm saying?
Some classics.
Amy, thank you so much for joining our crazy crew tonight.
Having me. Thank you for having me.
Will you come back?
Absolutely.
We definitely want to come back.
If you'll have me, I'll be back.
We definitely want to have you back.
Thank you.
Because what you do is great, and it's needed.
Maybe you can bring a Mandala.
Yeah.
Mandala.
I'll bring it.
And we can stay here while we're on the air and just be like, I'd love that.
That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun.
Right? Yeah. I think it would.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. We appreciate it. Hats off to our production crew, Doug and Dan, making do. So we appreciate them. And don't forget to tune in next week, Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, right here at your local cable access, Altice Channel 5 for CT Views. We out. City Views.